what is up guys, welcome back to another episode of ReaperCast. We have more cards again being revealed for Burst of Destiny. I think that should actually be a sign that Burst of Destiny is definitely coming soon, and a lot more actual reveals will actually be announced for the next few days, to be honest. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking about a lot of these new cards. However, I'm definitely very keen to actually find out about all the new cards that are actually coming out in this particular set. I love seeing what new archetypes has to offer. Of course, some of them could be disappointing, like Blazing Vortex archetypes, but some of them might actually be interesting. For example, last time we talked about the Ice Jades that are also coming out in Burst of Destiny, and I'm actually quite excited about that. So we have a new archetype today, and this new archetype is called Xiangjian, which is, I guess it's a Chinese word of some sort, but I have no idea. So let's see, it's very interesting because it is actually hinting towards, like, I guess, Chinese influences as to what this particular archetype is. But, having this kind of theme is actually quite interesting. I actually do like the way the armor actually looks like for a lot of these particular card designs. And this was actually also true at first with Fire Fist as well, so that was pretty awesome. But then they also brought this about onto, I think, Ancient Guardians as well, which was also really cool. Or was it Ancient Warriors? I think it was Ancient Warriors, which was the archetype. But it's, again, following that whole Chinese influence of, I guess, olden war times, so definitely fantastic. But seeing this one here, unlike the Fire Fists and the Ancient Warriors, which are fire type, these here are actually water type, so it's going to be quite fun to see what things has to offer over here. So let's just find out, which is appropriate of course, because just seeing the artwork you could already see that partial influence of it. So having it be in this particular sense, it's pretty interesting indeed. So let's see what each of these cards actually has to offer. So the first card we have here is called Moye, the Xiangjian Swordmaster, a level 4 water worm effect monster. Now that's a very big surprise to see that it's a worm type, 1700 attack and 1800 defense, and the first and second effects of this card can only be used once per turn each. First effect, if this card is normal or special summon, you could reveal one Xiangjian card or one worm monster from your hand, special summon one Xiangjian token, Worm Tuna Water level 4 attack 0 defense 0. While that token is on the field, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except synchro monsters. Alright, so that's definitely very surprising. It's great to see that synchro is actually getting some support again. We've already seen this with the ice barriers, and we've already seen this in the Earth's Arctic, and both of them already happen to be water archetype. So seeing that this here is also water archetype that can go into synchro summoning, I think there's definitely a common theme going on here, but it's really peculiar that they're actually doing something like this. Second effect, if this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you could draw one card. Very nice, but I think it's more so the fact that you get an additional token to go for synchro climbing, so that would be fun. Now as for the next card, we are actually getting here a wind monster, so it seems like it is mixed archetype. I was actually imagining that it would be water archetype, and based off the design of all of these cards, it seemed like they would be consistently going with the water archetype, but I guess not. They're actually different archetypes here, or sorry, attributes that is. I don't know what I was saying there, but we have over here Tai A, the Xiangjian Swordmaster, a level 4 wind worm effect monster of 1800 attack and 1500 defense. You can only use this card's first and second effects once per turn each. So first effect, you could banish one Xiangjian card or one worm monster from your graveyard, special summon one Xiangjian token, Worm Tuna Water level 4 attack 0 defense 0. While that token is on the field, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except synchro monsters. But again, you're easily just going for a level 8 synchro summon, I assume, and that would be really amazing. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you could send one Xiangjian card or one worm monster from your deck to the graveyard. So again, just filling your graveyard with resources, allowing you to potentially access them more easily. So definitely fantastic. I'm loving how this archetype is working out, because At least with synchro monsters, you don't have the same restrictions as summoning link monsters, so Because of that, going for infinite synchro summons or just trying to go for as many synchro summons is not really a detriment. You could already see this working out with double summon. Double summon would definitely be a really great card to actually work out in this particular deck here. You could go for 2 synchro summons in one turn potentially. However, moving on here, we have a fire attribute one now. So we have here Long Yuan, the Xiangjian tactician, a level 6 fire Wyrm effect monster with 1200 attack and 2300 defense, and the first and second effects can only be used once per turn each. So this time it's a level 6 monster, definitely surprising. I thought it would be consistent at level 4, but I guess we'll find out. First effect, you could discard one other Xiangjian card or Wyrm monster, special summon this card from your hand, then you could special summon one Xiangjian token, Wyrm Tuna Water level 4, attack 0, defense 0. While that token is on the field, again the same restrictions apply, you can only go for synchro summons. So with that being said here, this one would actually allow you to summon this out easily and at the same time potentially go for a level 10 synchro, which is fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing the boss monster. But moving on, we have our final monster here, which is the Earth monster, of course. This is called Chunjun, the Xiangjian Auspicious Beast, a level 6 Earth Wyrm effect monster, attack 2400 and defense 1800, and the first and third effects can only be used once per turn. So first effect, during the main phase as a quick effect, you contribute one monster, special summon this card from your hand. Second effect, during damage calculation, if your Wyrm monster battles an opponent's monster, special summon from the extra deck, you can destroy that opponent's monster and this card. Third effect, if this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you could target one card on the field or in either graveyard, banish it. A few of these effects are actually similar to the previous monsters, but I could definitely see that this one actually offers a slightly different playstyle. It is a beast monster as opposed to the others, which look like they're warrior types, but I don't know, I mean, it does look different. I guess they're all technically beast types of some sort, given why they're called worms, so it seems like they're an animal type but humanoid kind of creature, which makes it quite interesting to see what this actually has to offer here. But let's move on to our boss monster, which is Qi Xiao, the Xiangjian Grand Sword Master, a level 8 light Wyrm synchro effect monster, 2800 attack and 1000 defense, requires 1 tuner and 1 plus non-tuner Wyrm monsters. You can only use one of this card's name's first or second effects per turn and only once that turn. First effect, if this card is synchro summoned, you could add to your hand or banish one Xiangjian card from your deck. Just a great way to add resources. Second effect, quick effect, you can banish one Xiangjian card or one Wyrm monster from your hand or graveyard, then target one other effect monster on the field, negate its effects until the end of this turn. Absolutely fantastic, loving that particular effect, and this is actually quite suitable for an early boss monster. I'm assuming the later boss monsters would be a little bit better. Because now we have the second boss monster and also the last boss monster for the time being. This is Xiangjian, the Xiangjian Grand Duke, a level 10 water Wyrm synchro effect monster of 3000 attack and defense. Requires 1 tuner and 1 plus non-tuner monsters, so this is actually generic. The third effect can only be used once per turn. First effect, gains 100 attack and defense for each banished card. Monsters your opponent controls loses 100 attack and defense for each banished card. Okay, out of 3 effects, it's gonna make sense that not all of them are supposed to be really broken effects. Second effect, if this card would be destroyed by card effect, you could banish 1 card from your graveyard instead. Not bad, but not amazing either. Third effect, if this card becomes banished, you could banish 1 card each from your opponent's field and graveyard, which is not bad at all. That's definitely fantastic, but overall I do see this card mainly as just a beat stick. It doesn't seem to be particularly special, so I do wish that there was a bit more to it, but I guess you can't really decide on what this particular archetype would actually be about. So next here we have a spell card, a normal spell card that is. The Xiangjian Dragon Sword appears, so the first and second effects can only be used once per turn each. First effect, add 1 Xiangjian monster from your deck to your hand, or if you control a synchro monster, you can add 1 Wyrm monster instead. Definitely fantastic. Great searcher. Second effect, if this card is banished, you could target one Xiangjian or Wyrm monster you control, increase or decrease its level by 1 until the end of this turn. Again, giving you great manipulation of the board, so quite fantastic. However, moving on, we have another normal spell card, Xiangjian Men, the Grand Spiritual Peak. The first and second effects of this card can only be used once per turn each. First effect, target one Xiangjian monster in your graveyard, special summon it. If you control a synchro monster, you could target one Wyrm monster instead. If this card is banished, you could target one Xiangjian or Wyrm monster you control, increase or decrease its level by 1 until the end of this turn. So again, more manipulation of the board and allowing you to recur your resources. Definitely fantastic. But then again, not necessarily standing out. Moving on, we have here a normal trap card, Xiangjian Research. The first and second effects can only be used once per turn each. First effect, target one face-up monster you control, banish up to 5 Xiangjian cards and or Wyrm monsters from your graveyard, and if you do, that target gains 300 for each. I mean, that's pretty crazy to banish up that many cards. I do see this being a one-of in the deck. Second effect, if this card is banished, you could special summon one Xiangjian token, Wyrm Water Tuner level 4, attack 0, defense 0. While this token is on the field, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except synchros. Alright, so similar case, but even so, I mean, to banish up that many cards, at least it's cards and not monsters only, so there is a bit of differences there, but you could actually work this together with, what was it called? Pot of Avarice? No, it's not Avarice. You could actually make this work out with Pot of Acquisitiveness actually, so that would be quite fantastic, or any other card that might allow you to return back your banished zone, but it is working with the actual banished zone by ditching your resources to that region. But with that being said, again, nothing particularly standing out to me. And as for the final card, which is also a normal trap card, it's Xiangjian Sudden Shift. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name, each once per turn. First effect, target one Wyrm monster you control and 2 cards your opponent controls, destroy them. Not bad at all. Definitely just a really standard card for any archetype really. Second effect, if this card is banished, you could special summon one Xiangjian token, same stats as mentioned earlier. While this token is on the field, again, you can only go for synchro summons. So yeah, very nice here, definitely allowing you to have benefits in many different interesting ways, I guess. But again, all of this does sound pretty generic. It's not necessarily attracting much attention. It is mainly focusing, I guess, on just synchro summoning, which makes sense, but at the same time it's not standing out in any kind of way. I wanted to see a bit more uniqueness to the effects aside from just summoning out a tuner token which would then go for your synchro plays. You know, it just seems a bit too simplistic. It feels like there's a lot more that could be done. Now, I actually am suggesting that you could play this with Pot of Acquisitiveness, but I actually think you could play this with the Yangzings as well, which would definitely be quite nice. And both decks are technically Chinese influenced by theme or artwork, I guess, and both artworks for both archetypes, by the way, they are exquisite. But with that being said, definitely let me know what you guys actually think about it. Can the archetypes mix? But this video has definitely gone on long enough, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you enjoyed it, definitely drop a like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. It really does help. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I'll see you all next time.